as from Going In Gaming, history pack art depicts all the WTR and Arc heroes under like a godly type figure. Can we expect an Avengers-esque type of event that brings all the favorite heroes together?
Hold my beer.
Is that a yes?
Maybe.
It's a maybe.
You'll
Nathan
see.
asks, as a collector...
So, welcome back to Go Again Gaming. My name is Az. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because James White retweeted something that I did back in March. So, yeah, Fluke was asking James my question, obviously in preparation for this interview. And I asked James about whether there's going to be a big crossover type event where there's a lot of heroes coming together. And this weekend, or this week, I should say, we have seen that happen with the IGN spoiler and the art that was given alongside that. So this is the art for the card. That's the card there, United We Stand. And obviously we have the art with from Alexander Mokov depicting Bravo, Boltin, Oldhim, Dorinthia, Prism, Shiana, Briar, and Lexi all in one piece of art. All in battle formations. Look at that. We've got Boltin about to thrust. We've got Oldhim wielding his hammer, but behind him, we've got Dorinthia sort of issuing like a battle charge, pointing the finger at the enemy. Bravo's about to throw a crippling crush. Briar's got the Rosetta in hand. Lexi's firing back or pulling back the arrow to fire. Prism looks like she's floating in air, ready to summon some heralds. And obviously, we've got Shiana in the background there as well, a little bit more elusive, but she is part of it. So this just screams to me that obviously they're facing down an army of demons or demonic shadow-esque things that are being led by Vincent. Now, I'm not completely and utterly up to date with the lore, but I love the concepts and the familiarities of stuff that I have watched and was invested in, like the Avengers, like Civil War, and that whole MCU up until recent crap entries to that franchise. But yeah, absolutely love this art. Love what it encapsulates. All of these diverse characters coming together to just absolutely wreak havoc on the enemy and standing together as one to do that. And I'm interested to see what the other side of this could be, because it looks like that this is going to be one of two sides. And I actually made a graphic recently. I've made a few graphics this week, actually, when I should have been doing my actual job. Which ultimately got me seen by James, and he retweeted it and followed me actually as well. So that made my day also. But this is the piece of art that I sort of edited. So on this side, obviously we got Vincent and some demons. So we obviously got Hungering Slaughter Beast, Graveling Growl, Deadwood Rumbler, Endless Maw, and obviously the thing from Gore Belching. And obviously on the other side we have the heroes that we've just seen charging into battle against them. So it took me a while to cut out all these characters and then add this sort of foreground, which if you've noticed, the foreground of this here, like the tree stumps, the sort of spurts coming out of the foreground there, is actually from the Convulsions of the Bellows of Hell art. So yeah, this took me quite a while to put together, but credits to Alexander Mokov for doing the original image. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, that's the card. Here's the image. That just looks absolutely awesome, and I'm very, very hyped. And let's have a look at the card then quickly. So this is the card, United We Stand. This was spawned by IGN, an absolute massive media outlet that does reviews on films and games and all sorts. So the fact that LSS can get people to do that now is absolutely awesome, albeit scary for us sort of very, very small creators. But yeah, hopefully we've been in it enough, and our passion has shone through enough that they still will give us preview cards every now and again to share. But this was absolutely sick, seeing this on a card, and it alludes to PvE as well, which is a format of the game that a lot of us are waiting for. The casuals and the socials just want to get a couple of heroes together, eat pizza, and drink stupid amounts of sugary drinks and stuff, and just have a whale of a time. That's what I want to do anyway, because I'm a fat bastard. But yeah, United We Stand. This is a 3-cost light action attack, blocks for 2, attacks for 6, pitches for yellow. And obviously it has the unity mechanic as well, which we've seen already in this set. So when this defends together with a card from hand, so if you block with this or defend this, use this as a blocking card along with something else. If Boltin is in your party, create a Courage token under his control. Then repeat for Bravo and Seismic Surge, Briar and Embodiment of Earth, Dorinthia and Courage, Lexi and Embodiment of Lightning, Oldhim and Spellbane Aegis, Prism and Spectral Shield, and Shiana and Eloquence. So if you defend with this, with another card from hand, if there's certain characters in your party for the PvE scenario that you're going to be going through, each of those characters, those named characters, are going to get the token that matters to them. We still don't know what a courage token is yet, but I imagine that's going to be some form of cost reduction on weapon attacks, because that's what Courage of Bladehold does. And obviously, courage token, Courage of Bladehold, I imagine it's going to be some sort of cost reduction on weapon swings. But yeah, absolutely awesome. The fact that you defend with this and all of the heroes that are named in your party get the token that helps them the most towards the enemy that they're fighting in PvE. Now, the interesting thing about this is obviously it's a light action, right? So only Boltyn and Prism, I believe, can use this. I think I'm right there. Leave a comment if I'm not, but I'm pretty sure it's only Boltyn and Prism that can use this right now. But what does that mean? Because maybe all heroes want access to something like this. Maybe in the scenario that comes with Dusk Till Dawn, maybe it's all about light versus shadow. And in that scenario, for instance, if you get like a little scenario book that tells you how to do the War of the Monarch PvE scenario, maybe all of your heroes can be light heroes. Maybe you're given like a token, or maybe a selection of different tokens that affect your deck building style on that campaign, and that could be cool because obviously it means that you could be given a light talent. If you're like a Azalea, for instance, you could be given a light card that makes Azalea a light ranger. I know she won't really benefit from this United We Stand because she's not in there, but that's an example because I like to bring up Azalea because she's my favourite girl clad in leather. But anyway, that is also another point as well, is the fact that this card obviously depicts, if we bring up the actual art here again, Bravo, Boltyn, Oldhim, Dorinthia, Prism, Shiana, Lexi, and Briar. So a nice smattering of heroes. A lot of them are talented as well. So obviously we got Briar, Lexi, and Oldhim, which are all sort of talented Aryan heroes. We got Boltyn and Prism, who are light heroes. We've got Shiana, the shapeshifter, and Dory, just the out-and-out warrior, coming in here. But what does this mean for the other characters? Because I think we're going to get a similar situation like this with all of the other fan favourites as well. And I think that's also a fantastic way to just sort of promote future potentials as well, future possibilities. Just imagine seeing in a similar piece of art Azalea, ninjas, Katsu, Benji, Riptide, all of the Outsiders heroes coming together to actually fight something that needs them all to do so. You know, and that could be an interesting story as well, because all the Outsiders don't really necessarily want to work together. And suddenly they have to. They find themselves in that situation where they have to work together. And I think that would be absolutely awesome to also see other sort of groups form. And again, that's similar to the comic book world as well, where you have like the Avengers, you have the Defenders, you have the Illuminati, you have all of these different character groups that are coming together to fight a certain entity or group of characters that they are best equipped to deal with. And that also lends itself to good storytelling and potential sort of, we know what's in at the moment. The whole thing that's in is obviously the big universe crossover type events. I know that obviously was massive in the form of Avengers and the Infinity Saga. Avengers and obviously Marvel and stuff is a completely different topic. That's all sort of trailed off and got a bit worse over the last few years, unfortunately. But when it was good, it was really, really good. And obviously the TV shows and all that sort of thing, you know, giving you all these different teams and, you know, hinting to each thread of stories that are being interwoven throughout is something that I believe Flesh and Blood could do. And they have that set in stone already with the characters. Obviously, everyone loves the characters. That's the reason why we're into this game, is because we love the characters. We want to see what stories they go on. We want to see what other characters they might meet. Imagine that as well. You know, I absolutely hate Oldhim, but seeing Azalea fight alongside Oldhim for the good of Wraith is just fucking sick, mate. It's just absolutely awesome. So yeah, I'm really, really stoked about what this means for the game. I think the card itself is also really, really cool, albeit it's in a supplementary set, so that's another conversation entirely, is, you know, having these PvE cards in a supplementary set. Is this just going to be a teaser for what is to come, or is there actually going to be a PvE module in this supplementary set? And if so, does that split the audience, or does that make it better for sales purposes? You know, if people are going to buy this to find the PvE stuff, or people are going to buy this for the competitive stuff, or is that going to have an impact? Leave a comment in the section below. That's a completely different thread. But yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this, and I'm not sure whether I've shown this image already, but this is the image that I did. Well, not I didn't do the art obviously, but I cut out all the characters and stuck a different background on. As you can see, it's the Doomsday art or the Eclipse art in the background there. But this is what I envisioned. I imagine there's like a similar piece, right? There's got to be some form of opposing piece of characters on the other end, like this, right? The legions of Vincent being behind Vincent. I imagine, because obviously it looks like it's one of two pieces. You've got all these heroes looking one way, and then we could have all the shadow heroes or whatever they're fighting facing the other way, and that's obviously the inspiration behind this this piece that I did here, this edit. But yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It's probably something I've missed. I've recorded this video twice. The first time was just not recording, so I just lost all that. But yeah, the PvE module side of it, it's a good thing to do as well, because if you tie it into like a big thematic set, you can also add like PvE scenarios into that set, right? The War of the Monarch, the Light versus the Shadow. That's a perfect setting for a PvE scenario or a PvE campaign, etc. And probably you could probably take it the other way as well with regards to, obviously these are all the light heroes. You can approach it from the way of the light, or you can approach it from the shadow as well, or lead Vincent and other heroes into battle against this against the light heroes. And that begs the question as to what is going to be the enemy. Vincent's going to be the enemy, obviously, summoning these demons and stuff. But is there going to be any other characters that appear on the side of Vincent? We will see. Obviously, Vincent is obviously a pupil of Chain's teachings and all that. I'm not brushed up too much on the lore, but all the concepts that are at play here are just absolutely awesome, very familiar, and cannot wait to see what happens with spoiler season. I've been told by Alex on Twitter that I am getting something, but it's getting very close to spoiler season, a couple of weeks away now, and still haven't had the notification of the card that I might be spoiling, and I had to do a shoey for that. I didn't have to, but I said, Alex, if you give me a spoiler for DTD, sorry, I'll do a shoey on Twitter and post it. And it was like, deal. So let's hope that comes to fruition. Otherwise, I just made a fool out of myself for no reason. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Check out goagaingaming.com for the web store, ways you can help support me through Patreon, my affiliates, and all that good stuff. That would be fantastic. And check out the Living Legends podcast every week on Red Zone Rogue channel as well for chat about all things Flesh and Blood as and when it comes up. And also, when this video goes live, I think we are recording the Dungeons and Dragons cross World of Wraith within a few days. So we'll see you soon, and we'll see you back at Go Again Gaming to do it all over again sometime soon with more speculation and more passion for this fantastic game. Cheers.